Mueller method.
So we discussed the theory of Mueller's method. No? Do you see my screen? Do you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
it's
sir.
visible.
Okay. So we discussed Mueller's method. So what we have done in Mueller's method, actually in Mueller's method, the part of the graph near the root is approximated by a parabola or a quadratic polynomial. Now, in that quadratic polynomial, put y equals to 0 and calculate the values of x. So the value of x for which you are getting the height equals to 0 or y equals to 0, that is our next approximate root. So let us quickly recall, because I will be solving one example. So steps, what we do, we choose first how many initial guesses, how many initial guesses are
3.
required?
3,
3.
sir.
So choose
3.
x0, x1, x2. Huh? 3 initial guesses. Then what to do? Assume the parabola. So let the parabola be y equals to a into x minus xk whole square plus b into x minus xk plus c. Then you solve for ABC, A equals to something, B equals to something, and C equals to something. Is not it? So do you recall what are ABC? How to evaluate ABC? You have to remember it is xk minus 2 into yk minus 1 minus xk minus 1 yk minus 2 by xk minus 1 xk minus 2 xk minus 1 minus xk minus 2. So this is the value of a. B, value of b is very similar to a, only two squares will be there if you recall. So b, that is same as a, only two squares will be there at two places. So xk minus 2 square yk minus 1 minus xk minus 1 whole square yk minus 2 by same denominator as a, xk minus 1 xk minus 2 xk minus 1 minus xk minus 2. And what is c? C equals to yk. So these are the values of a, b and c. Once you have the values of a, b and c, how to get next approximate root? What is xk plus 1? xk plus 1 equals to xk plus 2c by minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac, most probably. Let us see the note. Yes, xk plus 1 equals to xk plus 2c by minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac. So this is the results. These are the results you have to remember while solving finding roots using Mueller's method. So let us quickly solve one example. So the problem is find a root. So I will consider a very simple example. Equation is x cube minus 2x minus 5 equals to 0. Find a root in 2, 3 by Mueller's method. This is capital M. So tell me, how should we approach? How should I approach? How should we approach? We need 3 initial guesses. So tell me 3 initial guesses to the root. Tell me, how should we choose x naught, x1?
Not as 2.
Tell me. Remember, so there is no such rule to choose initial guesses. Only thing is that the initial guesses in any method should be very close to the exact root. How close? It is not mentioned anywhere. So tell me some reasonable initial guesses. X0, X1 and X2.
Sir, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. We need also this corresponding functional values. So let f of x equals to or y equals to x cube minus 2x minus 5. So tell me, what is y naught? What is y naught?
Naught is 1 minus 2 minus 5.
Y naught is minus 2 minus 5. 1 minus 2 minus 5. How much?
Minus 6.
Sir, minus of 6.
Minus of 6. What is y1?
It's minus of 1.
Minus 1.
Minus of 1. And what is y2?
16.
16. So these are the 3 values. We have chosen initial guesses. Corresponding functional values are given by that. So now what you have to do? You have to iteration 1. Okay. So let the parabola be y equals to a into x minus xk whole square plus b into x minus xk. So here, since we know it is iteration 1, so I'll start with iteration 1. So it will be a into x minus x2 plus b into x minus x2 plus c. So this is the parabola we have considered. This parabola is passing through the point 1 comma minus 6, 2 comma minus 1 and 3 comma 16, passing through 1 comma minus 6, 2 comma minus 1 and 3 comma 16. So tell me which parabola will be passing through these 3 points. So we have assumed that the parabola is y equals to a into x minus x2 whole square plus b into x minus x2 plus c, which is basically a into x minus 2 whole square plus b into, no, x2 is 3. So it should have been x minus 3. So it should be x minus 3 plus b into x minus 3 plus c. So that is the parabola we have assumed. So tell me, what are the values of a, b and c? Here a equals to, b equals to, and tell me c. So tell me the values of a, b and c. You know, these are the formula, no? These are the formulas to calculate a, b and c. So put k equals to what? Put k equals to 2 in iteration 1. Huh? So a will be what? X2 minus x naught into y2 minus y1. Put k equals to 2 in first iteration, because you have 3 points, x0, x1, x2. Those 3 points will be used. So put k equals to 2 in first iteration. So you will get a equals to x2 minus x0 into y2 minus y1 minus x2 minus x1 into y2 minus y0 by x2 minus x0, x2 minus x1 into x1 minus x0. That was a. B will be similar to a, two squares will be there. So it will be x2 minus x0 square, y2 minus y1 minus x2 minus x1 square, y2 minus y0 by x2 minus x0, x2 minus x1, x1 minus x0, and c equals to y2. Put k equals to 2. So after substituting, tell me the values of a, b, and c. What is c? C equals to y2. What is y2?
16.
16. So c value is known to you.
16.
C is 16. So tell me what is a and b. First you calculate a, and then you can easily evaluate what will be b. So x2, let me remember, x0 is 1, 2, 3. Okay, x0 is 1, x1 is 2, x2 is 3. And y0 is minus 6, minus 1, 16. Okay. So this will be 3 minus 1, x2 minus x0 into y2 minus y1. y2 is 16 minus y1 is minus 1. So minus minus plus 1 minus x2 minus x1. x2 is 3, x1 is 2 into y2 minus y0. y2 is 16 minus 6, minus minus plus 6. Is it okay so far? Students, is it okay so far?
Yes, sir.
And then in the denominator it will be x2 minus x0, which is basically 3 minus 1, x2 minus x1, which is basically 3 minus 2, into x1 minus x0, which is basically 2 minus 1. Okay, and b will be very similar to that, only two squares will be there. So it will be 3 minus 1, 16 plus 1 minus 3 minus 2 into 16 plus 6 by 3 minus 1, 3 minus 2, 2 minus 1, 2 squares will be there. One square is here, another square is there. So evaluate and tell me what are a and b. Simplify and tell me.
A 6 and B is 23.
A6, B23. So A6, B is 23. So now you have the values of A, B, and C. A6, B23, C 16. Okay. So what you will do now? So next approximate root will be what? X3. So what is the formula for X3? X3 equals to X2, xk plus 1 equals to xk plus 2c by minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac. Okay, so substitute here. So what is x2? x2 is 3 plus 2 into c. What is c? 2 into c, c is 16 by minus
16.
b. Minus b is minus 23 plus minus under root b square means 23 square minus 4 star a is 16, not 16, 6. star C is 16. Okay, now here out of plus and minus, which sign will be taken? Here out of plus and minus, which sign is taken? Plus or minus? I'll
So
minus.
plus will be taken.
No, not plus. Minus has to be taken
minus.
so that denominator become largest. So if you take plus, minus 23 is negative quantity and under root quantity will be positive. So it will decrease. So you should take minus. So minus 23 minus under root quantity. So it will be largest in modulus. So simplify. So this will be 3 plus 16 into 2 is 32 by minus 23 minus, you simplify, what is that? 23 square minus 4 into 6 into 16. Simplify and tell me how much you are getting as x3. Tell me quickly. Anybody who has obtained the value?
2.086.
2.086. Okay, so value is coming 2.086. Okay, fine. So this is x3. So this is the next approximate root. Now in iteration 2, how you will calculate it? Iteration 2. So in iteration 2, you have to calculate x4. You have to calculate x4. So 3 previous values will be used. So x1 will be used, x2 will be used, and x3 will be used. So x1 is 1, x2 is, sorry, x1 was
Approximately
2.
2.1 it will come.
Just a moment. So x1 is 2, x2 is 3, and what is x3? 2.086. And now tell me what you are saying.
Sir, if as you got the answer, but I was saying approximately 2.1 it will come.
2.18.
Approximately 2.1 I was saying, sir. But yeah,
Okay,
it's
you
the
are saying
same.
2.1. Okay. No. If you are doing using calculator, at least keep 3-4 digits after decimal.
Yes.
Okay.
It is a
So
2.08679.
okay, fine. 2.08679. Fine. So in iteration 2, previous three values will be used. So what is f of x1? You know already. F of x1 was minus 1, then 16. So f of x1 is y1. Y1 was minus 1. Y2 was 16. And what is y3?
But sir, we have got the root in 2 to 3. Then why are we calculating now iteration 2?
No, how? This is the root only after one iteration. It is not the exact root. You have to modify it. This is iterative method. After one iteration, you do not get the exact root.
Okay.
This is iterative method, no?
Yes.
So only performing one iteration, you do not get the exact root. You have to perform it quite a few times. Depending, if you are performing this in computer, then you will be performing it. You know that stopping criteria. And if you are doing it by hand, then you have to at least perform few iteration to understand how this is going. So x1 is 2, x2 is 3, x3 is 2.086, y1 is minus 1, y2 is 16 is known to you. What is y3? You know what was the function? The function was x cube minus 2x minus
2
5.
minus 2x minus 5.
So put x equals to 2.086 and tell me what is y3.
It is minus 0.0949.
0.0949. Is this the quantity you are getting? Y3 equals to
Yes,
minus
sir.
0.0949. Okay, fine. So now you will have to calculate what will be A, what will be B, what will be C. Huh? So let the parabola be, what will be the parabola? A into x minus x3 square plus b into x minus x3 प्लस c. एक इंडेक्स बढ़ जाएगा, जो इटरेशन 1 में था उससे एक इंडेक्स बढ़ जाएगा सारी जगह. तो इसमें पैराबोला को लिए थे a इंटू एक्स माइनस एक्स टू, उसमें एक इंडेक्स बढ़ गया. हाँ, वैसे भी फॉर्मूले ए बी और सी में सारे जगह एक एक करके इंडेक्स बढ़ जाएगा. सो टेल मी व्हाट इज द वैल्यूज ऑफ ए बी एंड सी. What will be A? Y3
A is
minus,
x. Y3
tell me
minus
what,
y2.
tell me in terms of, so look at this values of A, B, C. So everywhere one index will be increased. So x3 minus x1. So A is x3 minus x1 into y3 minus y2 minus
minus y x3 minus x2
x3 minus x2 into y3 minus
into
y1.
y minus y1
And in the denominator it will be
divided by
x3 minus
y3
x1, x3 minus x2 into x2 minus x1.
x2 minus x1.
Similarly, b will be very similar to a, two squares will be there. You write down, and c will be y3. So now you know, substitute the values and find out what is a, b and c. So let me write down the proper formula for b. It will be x3 minus x1 square, y3 minus y2 minus x3 minus x2 square, y3 minus y1. The denominator will be x3 minus x1, x3 minus x2, x3 minus x2 minus x1. So substitute everything and calculate the values of a, b and c. So if you do it, I think you will be getting a equals to 5.102 or 103, around that, and b will be 12.9556 or 57, and c is y3. What is y3? Y3 is minus 0.9449, minus 0.0949, or there may be a slight change in the values of a and b. You do the calculation. Okay. So once you have the a, b and c, the next approximate root will be what? x4. Okay. So what will be x4? x4 will be x3 plus 2c by minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac. So substitute everything and simplify. So it will be coming something like 2.0970 or around that. So this is how, so this is the next approximate root up in second iteration. After second iteration, our approximated root is 2.0970. So this is how Muller's method works. So let us quickly see how much accurate we have obtained the answer. So let us plot it quickly. What was the graph? This mouse graph plotter. What was the equation? y equals to x cube minus 2x minus 5. Y equals to x cube minus 2x minus 5. So you see the root is 2.095. The root is 2. What is the root?
2.095.
Okay, and how much you have got? 2.0970. So you see only
Yes.
after two iteration we have obtained very good approximation, is not it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is how Muller's method works. Now convergence of this method is not discussed. It is a bit complicated if you want to derive what is the order of convergence of this method. So derivation is not included in that syllabus, but it is almost quadratically converge towards the root. So you can say its convergence, order of convergence is almost similar to order of convergence of Newton-Raphson method. But derivation is not included in the syllabus. One more method we are going to discuss. This will be the final method. It is known as Lean-Bearstow method or simply Bearstow method. So this method is used to solve only polynomial equation. Muller's method can be used to solve arbitrary equation. No arb is there. We took the example as a polynomial equation for the simplicity, but it can be used to solve any kind of equation. But this particular method which we are going to discuss now, it is used to solve only polynomial equation. Lean-Bearstow method or simply Bearstow method. So this particular method is about how to extract quadratic factor from a polynomial equation. So suppose you have a polynomial equation of degree 5, p5x equals to 0. p5x is a fifth degree polynomial equation. How many roots this particular equation has?
5.
5 roots, exactly 5, including both real and complex. So if you consider both real and complex roots, then this equation p5x equals to 0 has exactly 5 roots. So if you want to find out all the 5 roots, which method you will be using? You will be using Lean-Bearstow method. So what it does, it will help you to extract quadratic factor. So if you write down p5x equals to 0 in terms of quadratic factor, how many quadratic factor it has?
2 quadratic factors.
And 1 linear factor, is not it?
Right, sir.
So it will be, let's say, ax square plus bx plus c, 1 quadratic factor. Another will be, let's say, r x square plus tx plus s, and another linear factor ex plus f. So p5x can be written in this way, is not it? Now each of these factors can be used to find the root of the equation. If you want
Yes,
to
sir.
find out the root of the equation p5x equals to 0, you equate each of the factors to 0 and then you solve them. You know how to solve quadratic equation, how to solve linear equation. They are very easy to solve. So, and if you start with even degree polynomial equation, for example p6x, then how many quadratic factor you will get?
3.
3 quadratic factor. So anyway, the idea is if you consider odd degree polynomial equation, then you will get some quadratic factors and 1 linear factor. And if it is a even degree polynomial equation, all the factors will be quadratic factor.
सर जरूरी थोड़ी है कि उसका फैक्टर हो ही जाएगा.
जरूर होगा, जरूर होगा. अगर कोई पॉलिनोमियल इक्वेशन है तो उसके रियल और कॉम्प्लेक्स रूट होंगे ही होंगे। मतलब अगर किसी पॉलिनोमियल इक्वेशन की डिग्री 10 है तो उसके 10 रूट्स होंगे ही होंगे, और उसको आप 5 क्वाड्रेटिक वेक्टर के हिसाब से लिख सकते हैं, क्योंकि कॉम्प्लेक्स रूट्स विल बी कमिंग इन पेयर, और अगर पेयर में आते हैं तो उसको जब मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो इट विल बी ए क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन विथ रियल कोएफिशिएंट। तो आप जरूर लिख सकते हैं। कोई भी दो कॉम्प्लेक्स रूट लीजिए, टेल मी एनी कॉम्प्लेक्स रूट्स। So the roots for a polynomial equation comes in pair, is not it? The complex roots. So if a plus ib is one root, then another root will be a minus ib. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me which factor will give you these two roots. Tell me which two factors will give you, which factor will give you these two roots. So that will be x minus a plus ib. So minus sign will be here, and another into x minus a plus ib. Oh, here it should be plus sign, is not it? Let me write down clearly. So the two roots are, one is alpha, another is beta. So let me write down. Suppose this is alpha, this root is alpha, this is infinity हो गया, this is alpha and this is beta. Then the factor will be x minus alpha into x minus beta. तो x अल्फा और बीटा की जगह a प्लस ib और a माइनस ib पुट करो और मल्टीप्लाई करो, you will get a quadratic factor with real coefficients. Check it whether you are getting it or not. So it will be x minus alpha will be a minus ib into x minus beta, so x minus a plus ib. इसको मल्टीप्लाई करो, देखो क्या आ रहे हैं. Are you getting a quadratic factor with real coefficients? अगर ऐसा होते हैं तो सब में ट्रू होंगे. Do the multiplication and tell me what you are getting. Are you getting a quadratic polynomial with real coefficient? Yes. If you do the multiplication, it will be x minus a whole square, okay, minus ib into x minus a plus ib into x minus a minus I square b square. तो ये दोनों फैक्टर, ये दोनों टर्म कैंसिल आउट हो जाएगा. I square is minus 1, so you are getting x minus a whole square plus b square. So you see this is a quadratic polynomial with real coefficients. Okay, so that is the idea. So Lin-Biased method will tell you how to extract a quadratic factor. मान लो आप 6 डिग्री इक्वेशन को सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. So you are solving P6x equals to 0. Then what you will do? You will first extract a quadratic factor. So suppose the quadratic factor is ax square plus bx plus c. Then P6x will be written as ax square plus bx plus c. And what will be the quotient? It will be a polynomial of degree
4.
4. So let's say it is q4x. It is a polynomial of degree 4. Next, अगर सारे रूट चाहिए P6x equals to 0 के, तो दो रूट तो यहाँ से मिल गया, ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, और बाकी चार रूट के लिए हम लोग सॉल्व करेंगे q4x equals to 0, और उसमें भी सेम प्रोसीड्योर अप्लाई करेंगे. उसमें q4x में से हम लोग एक क्वाड्रेटिक फैक्टर एक्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे और करते ही जाएंगे जब तक at the end we are end up with a linear factor or a quadratic factor. So you got the idea? what we are doing? So the main task
Yes.
is how to extract a quadratic factor. So that is what we are going to learn. How to extract a quadratic factor. So let us understand the procedure with third degree polynomial equation. If you wish, I can start with fourth degree. No difference will be there in the calculation. Little bit difference will be there. So suppose the polynomial equation is, let the polynomial equation be P3x equals to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube. a0, a1, a2, a3, these are known to you. These are constants, real number. Now what we want to do, we want to extract a quadratic factor. So suppose x square plus capital R into x plus capital S, this is the exact factor. Okay, and x square plus small r into x plus small s is an approximated factor. So if you use the approximated factor, how to write P3x? Tell me. If you use the approximated factor, how to write down P3x? P3x will be x square plus small r into x plus small s into something plus something. Tell me what are these? Whatever I am going to write here, that will be the quotient. And whatever I am going to write here, that will be the remainder. If I use the exact factor, remainder will be 0. And if I use the approximated factor, then we'll get some non-zero remainder. So tell me the degree of the remainder and tell me the degree of the quotient. They are going to be a polynomial.
1, sir. 1, sir.
Which one is 1?
Both of are 1, sir.
So both are 1. So suppose the quotient is b1x plus b2 and remainder is cx plus d. Okay. So let me modify the question. So this is in between line. You do not have to remember in this particular calculation, but you tell me what it will be, the line. So if I start with, let's say 7th degree polynomial equation, P7x, and I am going to use the approximate factor x square plus rx plus s, x square plus rx plus s, then what will be the degree of the quotient and what will be the degree of the remainder? What will be the degree of the quotient?
3, sir. 5, sir. 5.
Quotient will be of degree 5 of
Yes, sir.
degree 5, polynomial of degree 5, and remainder will be
1.
1. So the difference is only in the quotient. Okay, so if you start with any other polynomial of different degree, the calculation will be of same type, only the quotient will be of different degree polynomial. Okay, so anyway, so let us go back to the previous calculation. So we want to understand the method with the third degree polynomial equation. So we have assumed that x square plus rx plus s is exact factor and x square plus small r into x plus small s is approximated factor. So P3x equals to this highlighted this part. This is P3x. Now you also know, so you have to find out what is C and what is D, what are the reminders, and you have to equate them to 0 to find out the values of R and S. You have to find out C and D in terms of given coefficients. You have to find out what is C and what is D in terms of the given coefficients A0, A1, A2, A3. They will be given. And then you will have to equate them to 0 to find out the value of C and D. Okay. You'll have to equate them to 0 to find out the value of small r and small s. So from here we are getting A0 plus A1x plus A2x square plus A3x cube equals to x square plus Rx plus S into B1x plus B2 plus Cx plus D. So compare both sides and tell me what is C and D. So tell me what is A0. Compare the like power of x on both sides.
D.
A0 equals to D plus
D.
something.
S into B2.
S into B2. S
Yes, sir.
into B2. What is A1? Coefficient of x. So that will be S B1 S B1 plus
RB2
RB2
plus C.
Plus C.
plus C. That is A1. What is A2?
B2 plus RB1.
A2 is
B2 plus
B2
RB.
B2 plus RB1. B2 plus RB1. B2 plus RB1. And what is A3? A3 will be
B1.
A3 equals to B1. So now you have to back substitute and you have to find out C and D in terms of A0, A1, A2, A3. So do the back substitution. B1 equals to A3. What is B2? B2 equals to A2 minus RB1. B2 equals to A2 minus RB1. A2 minus RB1. RB1 is A3. So is it okay? B2 equals to A1 minus RA3. Okay. So tell me what is C? C equals to A1 minus S B1 minus R B2. So substitute the values of A1, B1 and B2 and tell me what is C.
It is A1 minus SA3
A1 minus SA3
minus RA2
minus R into A2
plus RA square into A3.
R square into A3. That is value of C. And tell me what is D. D equals to A0 minus S B2. So put the value of B2 A0 minus S into B2. So S into A2 plus RS into A3. Is it clear? So we only need the value of C and D. So let me write down. C equals to A1 minus S A3 minus RA2 plus R square A3. And what is D? D equals to A0 minus S A2 plus R into S A3. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me, when the approximated factor x square plus small r into x plus small s will be exact factor? If C and D equals to 0, there is no remainder. If there is no remainder, then the approximated factor will be exact factor, yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So solve for C equals to 0. So x square plus small r into x plus small s is exact factor. EXACT, exact factor if C equals to 0, D equals to 0. Now C equals to 0, D equals to 0. That will give you A1 minus SA3 minus RA2 plus R square A3 equals to 0. Another will be A0 minus SA2 plus RS A3 equals to 0. So these two system of equations, are they linear equation or non-linear equation? System of linear equation or system of non-linear equation? Are they easy to solve? The values of R and S from these two equations? You are not saying anything. They are non-linear system of equations, and non-linear system of equations are not at all easy to solve. So if somehow you can solve for R and S, then you can find out what is the quadratic factor of the equation. If you can solve for R and S, then you know what is the quadratic factor of the given equation. Now, nonlinear equations are not easy to solve. So here you have to find some iterative method how to solve these two system of equations. Okay, so here C, this C is function of, so let me tell you the procedure how to solve these two system of equation by iterative method, by some iterative method. The method is known as Newton's method. You have already studied it for single equation, Newton-Raphson method. Now the same method will be used to solve two equation. So C, this C is function of, this is function of R and S, yes or no? A0, A1, A2, A3, these are known to you. Only unknowns are R and S. So C is a function of R and S. Is it okay to you?
Yes, sir.
Friends, what about D? Is D function of R and S? D is also function of R and S. Now, what about capital C of, what is capital C of capital R comma capital S? What is that value? What is that value? If you start with the exact factor, what will be the remainder? Instead of approximated factor, if you write down the exact factor here, if you write down the exact factor, what will be the remainder?
0.
0. So that is what I'm going to write. We know capital CRS equals to 0 and capital DRS, capital D of capital R comma S, that is also 0. So we assume that x square plus capital R into x plus capital S is exact factor, x square plus small r into x plus small s is approximated factor. So can we say capital R is small r plus some amount of adjustment, some amount of error? Can we say?
Yes, sir.
And capital S is small s plus some amount of adjustment or error. Okay. So you know what is CRS, what is DRS. These are known to you. Here you see, this is C, this is D, and we have assumed that capital R equals to small r plus some amount of adjustment, and capital S equals to small s plus some amount of adjustment. So that will give you C R plus delta R S plus delta S equals to 0, and D R plus delta R comma S plus delta S equals to 0. Remember, I am telling you how to solve nonlinear equation by iterative method. It is known as Newton's method. If you know some other trick, then you can directly apply that trick to solve what is R and what is S. But it is very difficult to do. That is why I am telling you iterative method, how to solve nonlinear equation. So C of R plus delta R and S plus delta S equals to 0. D of R plus delta R, S plus delta S equals to 0. Now what I am going to do, I am going to write down. So if somehow we know what is delta R and delta S, then we can add delta R with R and delta S with S to get the exact factor, is not it? So that is what we are going to do, how to find out delta R and delta S. So I am going to write down Taylor series expansion of two variable, and only I am going to retain the linear term. Higher order term I am going to neglect. So if you use Taylor series expansion, here you will get C of R comma S plus del C by del R into delta R plus del C by del S into delta S will be approximately equals to 0 if you keep only linear terms. And from the next equation you will be getting dr comma S plus del D by del R into delta R plus del D by delta S into delta S equals to 0. Now since it is not exactly equals to 0 because you have neglected the higher order terms, you are not getting the true values of delta R and delta S. You will be getting some approximated values of delta R and delta S. That is why R plus delta R and S plus delta S, they are not going to be giving you the exact factor. That also will be going to be approximated factor, but it will be improving your original, your initial assumption. Your initial approximated factor was x square plus small r into x plus small s. Now after first iteration, your approximated factor will be x square plus r into delta r into x plus small s into small delta s. So you have these two equations. These are linear equations. You see, unknowns are delta r and delta s, and all other quantities these quantities are known to you. These will be, since CRS, DRS is known to you, del C by del R, del C by del S, del D by del R, del D by del S, these also known to you, and these has to be evaluated at the initial guess of R comma S. Since you have assumed initial factor as x square plus small r into x plus small s, so you have some initial value of r and s. So at those values of r and s, you will have to evaluate this C r comma s, del C by del r, del C by del s, dr comma s, del D by del r, del D by del s. So solve for delta r, delta s. You can solve it. This is a linear system of equation, very easy to solve. Once you solve it, next approximate factor will be x square plus small r plus the improvement x square plus r plus delta r into x plus s plus delta s. So that will be your next approximate factor. So after first iteration, again you will use the same procedure to get the next approximate factor, and you will keep on doing it until you see any changes in two consecutive iteration. So this is how you are getting the quadratic factor. And repeat the procedure. Repeat the process until you get the solution with desired accuracy. Until solution is obtained with desired accuracy. Okay, so this is the theory behind lean Bear's method. So today time is almost over. I will not be able to help you with the example. So that will be discussed in the next theory class. So any doubt in the method? How do we extract quadratic vector? If you knew how to solve nonlinear equation, then you could easily have obtained the values of r and s from these two equations. But since you do not know, that is why these iterative procedures are used. Okay. So any doubt? हेलो, एक मिनट, मेरा क्लास चल रहा है, तुम 5 मिनट बाद फोन करो, ठीक है? हाँ, एनी डाउट स्टूडेंट्स?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So I'll discuss the whole procedure again with one example. Okay. Okay, if no doubt is there, then you may leave the class.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.